Welcome to week 3. So it's been a great start to the semester. I really enjoyed looking through your discussion posts, and I am planning on grading your flip grids today. So you should all have your feedback for your discussion forums, and you can go into the Canvas gradebook for that. Just a quick note about the gradebook. When you sign into the gradebook, if you see that you have a missing grade, that means I have not graded something. If you see that you have a 0, that means that I have graded it and you are missing the assignment. So if you ever see missing, that means I just haven't gotten a grading yet, and I typically try to get things graded within a week of when you submit it. So this week we have a couple assignments. The first assignment is our discussion forum. Again, we want to post by Thursday and do your replies by Sunday. Several of you did a really fantastic job with your discussion posts. I really enjoyed seeing your replies and how you engage with each other. A couple of you, and I gave you feedback about this, only posted on one day or only looked like you signed into the discussion forum. It's really important that you sign in multiple times throughout the week, particularly between that Thursday and Sunday range, so you don't miss out on some of the great discussions that are happening. I think it's a really great opportunity for you to collaborate and learn from each other. And then your big assignment is going to be your individual project proposal. So thank you so much to everyone who has already posted their ideas. I've given you feedback, asked some follow-up questions, and I encourage you to look at each other's individual projects and offer your own input and feedback, and also continue to post there over the course of this week. This would be a great opportunity for you to bounce ideas off of each other and also get feedback from me. If you have any direct questions that you want to take offline out of the discussion forum, feel free to email me. But your project proposal is going to be due by Sunday. There is a rubric and the assignment is outlined in the assignment section, so take a look at that before you submit that. So a couple things I want to do with the discussion forum. So the first thing is that I want to switch to discussion forum. So I've now created a separate discussion forum for each group. So once you log into the discussion forum, you'll only see the discussion forum for your group. What that means is you no longer have to post a group number. That was an idea that another instructor had, and I don't think it quite works with our discussion forums. I think it got a little bit confusing. So in this week, you don't have to post to the group with your group number. Just post as you normally would post in the discussion forum, and it's going to be restricted just to your individual groups. It's also important, I think, for you to sign your discussion posts. So put whatever name it is that you'd like to be addressed. So if it's Steve, if it's Brandy, if it's Shannon, go ahead and sign your discussion posts. And then I'd like to see you be consistent about greeting each other using whatever that signed name is. I think that's going to help make it clear who you're replying to, because as we have more and more threaded replies, sometimes it can be confused about who you're actually directing your reply to. In terms of discussion moderation, I just want to give a shout out to Steve. He did a fantastic job with moderation. But with the switch of the discussion forums to be individual groups, we won't have a discussion moderator for this week. I want to see how the group discussions go, and if we're able to have the smaller groups have in-depth conversations, we won't have a need for a discussion moderator. I may decide to reintroduce the discussion moderation for discussion forum number 3, but I want to see how this week goes. And as I said, this is an evolving process that I want to make sure that we're having some good discussions. So in our overview video for next week, I'll discuss whether or not we're going to reintroduce the discussion moderator. So I want to revisit the extra credit because that's coming up due. So I strongly encourage everyone to use the 30-day trial for lynda.com. I think it's going to be a great overview and give you some insight about how to use Captivate, and it's really going to be helpful for you as you prepare your project proposal and also as you conceptualize and start working on your individual project. Charlotte-Mecklenburg Library provides free access to county residents. If you don't live in Charlotte-Mecklenburg, check to see your county library because it may have free access. If you take a look at our topics for individual discussion posts, Steve has posted some information about how to use your school credentials to get access. And then for the extra credit, you need to complete the courses and then upload a certificate of completion to the Canvas site. And those due dates are going to be September 9th for the Captivate training and October 14th for the Storyline training. These are set so they're due before your first assignment because in order to really get the benefit of the training, you need to do it before you actually have to submit an assignment. So for your individual project, just to recap, you are going to have to use Adobe Captivate. So there's a 30-day free trial. I would suggest that you install that after September 9th, so sometime next week, so that will make sure you have more than enough time, because the final project is going to be due October 7th. So if you install it now, you may not, your trial may run out before you complete the project. You should plan for about 10 to 15 minutes worth of instruction. So for some of you, I posted with your ideas. I wanted you to narrow your focus, because while it's a great idea, for this, I don't want us to go too in depth, and I want you to get some exposure with Captivate, but I don't want you to overwhelm yourself. So 10 to 15 minutes, and that should include you introducing your objectives, providing the instruction, and then doing some type of activity or assessment for the learners. There is a rubric for the assignment, and I suggest you take a look at that. You can find that rubric by going into the assignment and clicking on Show Rubric. Take a look at what the requirements are and make sure that you have addressed all those when you do your individual project proposal. So again, the project proposal is going to be due September 9th. I encourage you to review the Captivate tutorials in Lynda. Even if you don't do the full extra credit, at least get some familiarity with Captivate so you understand what Captivate can do, because that will significantly inform what your project proposal looks like. There is a discussion form that we've been using. Most of you have already posted your ideas. If you haven't posted your idea, please be sure to do that before the deadline so I can take a look and give you some feedback and make sure you're on the right track. Also, feel free to comment on each other's ideas. If you see an idea or something inspires you, feel free to leave a comment. I encourage you to collaborate in that fashion. You should plan to download and install the trial version of Captivate after getting your proposal feedback. So I will try to get your proposal feedback to you by next Wednesday at the latest, and that will give you plenty of time to download, install, and start building your artifact. And just a reminder, your full project is going to be due October 7th. I will speak as we get closer to that deadline about how we're going to handle delivery and how we're going to share those. So overall, at this point, we're at the plan. We are planning what we're going to do. And what we need to do is get ready to move into the action, which is going to be what we do between September 9th and the 7th. And then ultimately, we're going to have success because we're going to get this turned in. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me or post in the contact instructor form. But overall, great start to the semester, great start to the week. I look forward to seeing your work this week.